My name is Andy Rieger, and today we're going to talk about the RabbittApp health insurance enrollment platform. This is an agent-focused platform that allows you to enroll your customers in ACA and supplemental plans. The supplemental plans can be enrolled either alongside an ACA plan, and we'll show you how to do that, or they can be enrolled on a standalone basis. So if you're not selling ACA and you want to sell limited medical, or you want to sell a life plan, you can do those separate from an ACA plan. One question about process here, there is a Q&A box that you should see on your Zoom window. You are muted, so if you want to ask a question, just go ahead and enter it in the Q&A box. It's a little distracting to people if I constantly stop to answer questions, so I will keep an eye on your questions, but I'm probably going to pause at a couple of kind of complete thoughts, and then I'll answer all the questions then, so I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so let's get started. This is the initial RabbittApp page. Up here on the right, you're going to see an agent login. Before we even get there, let me show you one thing. Down at the lower right, there's a little live chat here. It gives you the phone number that you can call if you want to call in, but you can also live chat with our customer service agents, and they're a very responsive, very knowledgeable group of people, not only about RabbittApp, but also about the FFM, health insurance applications in general, the supplemental products we sell. They're very experienced customer service agents. So you can click right there. The advantage of the live chat is if you're having a problem with an application, with your permission, they can get access to view just your RabbittApp screen, not the rest of your computer, and be able to help you through and say, oh, here, click here or enter this information here. So it can be a very effective way of getting you going if you're kind of stuck within an application. So let's log in here and get right into RabbittApp. And if you're having a problem seeing my screen, just put a little note in the questions there. I want to make sure that everyone can see this. Let me just make sure. Okay. All right. So this is the RabbittApp dashboard. Across the top, you have access to an FAQ, to a training page that has manuals and videos. You can change the language if you want. On this page, if you're working with someone from a different language, you can change the language and let them read pieces in the language of their choice. This is kind of the introductory dashboard. We track the number of completed applications you've done, how many apps you have in progress, how many leads you've loaded. And then along the left-hand side, we have tabs that give you access to your applications that you've entered, the leads you're working, the carriers, you can configure your carriers, and then your profile. And then down here, this isn't really for the individual agent, but if you do own a call center or an agency or a general agency, we have a number of custom features to let you manage agents, leads, applications, sales at an agency level. And so we can certainly set up a separate demo if that's of interest and talk through that with you. Let's start from the beginning. We have a profile for every agent, and there's basic information you can put in, your contact information, your FFM username, and then here's where you put in all the writing information for the various products that you want to sell, the various supplemental products. There's also a marketing link that you have access to both for ACA and for non-ACA products. And this is essentially your own customized quoting page that you can give that URL. You can either embed it within your own website, or some agents just give that out as their actual URL to all their customers. On the ACA side, it allows a customer to choose a plan and then get partially through the enrollment, and it shows up as a lead in your system. You get an email alerting you to the lead, and then you can complete it. That's because as an agent, you have to complete the FFM portion. On the standalone side, if you want to put out a quoting page for limited medical or dental or accident, they can actually complete the app all the way through if they so choose. We also, I'm going to give this as a heads up, we also give you the ability to choose to charge an enrollment fee. If you are working with an agency or a general agency, they can kind of determine whether this is available at the agency level. But as an individual agent, you can choose to charge this fee. It is optional, so you can go in here and edit and turn it off if you want. The amount is at your discretion. So what we found is that with the pressure that's happening on ACA commissions, it's difficult to make enough money off of these ACA plans. So we address that in two ways. One, as you'll see, it's very easy to cross-sell dental, accident, critical illness, various plans with ACA so that you can give them a complete kind of package and also make more commission off each sale. But then in addition, as an agent, you can charge a per app fee essentially for ACA plans. That gets added at the end. We actually charge their credit cards and take payment for that, and then we remit that payment over to you. We've had a number of agents be very successful just charging small amounts, $20, $25, $30, but it covers the cost of RabbittApp, it covers the cost of some of your other expenses, and it really just helps to add that little bit amount to make the ACA enrollment period more successful. We've heard stories of people charging, $100, $200. I mean, at some level, H&R Block charges over $100 to do your taxes. What you're doing is no less important or no less complex than they are. None of our agents have done that, but we know other people have in other spaces. The laws about whether you can charge enrollment fees vary across state. That is completely at your responsibility to understand the laws and to determine where and whether you can charge enrollment fees. We know in Louisiana last year it was not legal. The Department of Insurance said no, but they actually passed a law making this legal to do in Louisiana, which is where we have a lot of agents right now. And so I know that, but it really is a state-by-state basis. Okay, and you'll see how that shows up in RabbittApp in a second. So that's your profile. The next thing, real quick, the carriers tab. These are kind of one-time setup things. We give you the ability to control what you're selling by state. So let's go look at Florida. You can see that I have chosen to sell, not to sell a Trua, but to sell these other products. I'm going to take some of these off. Maybe I don't want to sell these products. But I do want to sell these other ones. And then by carrier, well, maybe Blue Cross Blue Shield in Florida is a captive, so I can't really sell that. And these are not updated for 2017. Maybe Health First has really bad commissions, so I don't want to offer that either. So I can really control, and this only ones that are checked off will show up when you do a quote or an enrollment within RabbittApp. So you have control over what you're going to offer. The other control you have, and this sometimes works better for agencies than for individual agents, but you have the ability to set what's called an alternate NPN. So the way commissions work across the FFM is that when we submit your application to healthcare.gov, we attach your NPN to that application. Your NPN is set in your profile up here. And that's the way it gets through. It doesn't matter what your FFM login is. You can share logins or not. It makes no difference. The only thing that matters for getting paid is for us submitting your NPN on that application when we submit the enrollment. And we do that perfectly, and it works well. However, sometimes, like let's say Celtic Insurance, also known as Ambetter, they're very difficult to get appointed with, but they have really affordable plans and they pay decent commissions. So maybe you and other people in your agency all have one person appointed and you want to use that one person's NPN to get paid. We allow you to submit your applications under an alternate NPN at your discretion. So you could say for Celtic, I'm going to click this button. I'm going to put in the alternate NPN for Celtic, and this is your bud, Joe Smith. And now you can see Joe Smith is the person who's actually getting credit for the apps that are submitted through Celtic. And then, when the commissions come through, you and Joe will figure out who sold what. You can use RabbittApp to do that because you can track all your sales, and then you split the commissions up. That's a relatively common thing to happen in agencies, or even we have general agencies where all of a particular carrier's business for an entire general agency is sold through a single NPN. And so we enable that for you. So if I save this, then for Florida, only the carriers that I selected are actually going to be displayed. So before I move to the next piece, one question that was asked was, does this work in all 50 states? RabbittApp on the ACA side works with a federal marketplace. So if you're in one of the 37 states with a federal marketplace going through the FFM, then RabbittApp is working in that state. If you have a state exchange, California, for instance, or others, we cannot work at the state exchange. They do not have technology that allows us to enroll on their site. And so that's not possible for us. On the supplemental side, if you're selling a limited medical, we do offer plans, and we offer National General and New Era product lines as of now in whatever states they're available. Okay. So let me just go on here. There was a question about non-ACA medical carriers. We currently only enroll for major medical insurance, we only enroll through the ACA. We do not do off-exchange enrollments. So there are no off-exchange enrollments. Okay, so let's get in and look at what this looks like. Let's go in and enter an app. So I'm going to put in an application. We're going to do an ACA app right now. We'll do a new app. We'll do an ACA application. All right. And this is going to be, so this is the plan selection page. You can see across the top, there's a progress bar that shows you where you are in this application. This is a live bar, so if you click on any tab, it'll take you back to where you were, so you can always go back and change things without having to restart an application, and we'll see how that can be very effective. I'm gonna start by putting in my birth date here. Okay, and my gender. And you'll see the premiums for each plan. We've got the plan names, the carriers, deductibles, copays, all that information. If you click the more details on the lower right here, you get access to the summary of benefits, the plan brochure, the formulary, the network, and any specific notes here. If I click on summary of benefits, it's going to pop right up with that summary of benefits provided by the carrier. If I want to, on the left-hand side, I can filter what plans I want to see. This is a kayak.com style interface, so we show the lowest cost plan at each level. So let's say I want to just see silver plans. I can click on that button, it'll show me all the silver plans available. And if I want to compare some plans, I can just select them here, and I can click this compare plans button, and it's going to bring me a grid that tells me all this information about the various plans that I want to compare. So I can really get, if I'm working with a customer, a side-by-side view of these plans. It includes the benefits and all that information. And I can actually enroll straight from here. I can select a plan and go on, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to go back. The other thing that's important clearly is the subsidies. I'm going to put in my income here and click the Check Now button, and it's going to show me my estimated tax subsidy. It's also going to show me in smaller text really for the agent, the cost sharing variation. So if I had a higher subsidy, lower income, I might have cost sharing. Any cost sharing changes, so lower deductibles, lower copays, out-of-pocket maxes, are automatically reflected in the RabbittApp product. So you'll automatically see those by the plan. I can obviously add more people if I want. I can add another person and add a spouse or child. That's very easy to do. I'm not going to do that right now. So eventually here, I'm going to choose a plan. So let's choose this Personal Choice PPO Silver. It's going to take me to the next page. This is where, again, cross-selling is very important if you want to really improve your income during open enrollment. So we automatically take you to this next page where we have the option of selling additional supplemental plans. It's your choice. So maybe I want to choose a National General Dental plan. I click Select Plan. You're going to see the supplemental premium here. So over here is the cost. You see the ACA base premium, the subsidy. This is the supplemental plan that you just chose. And then we can see that enrollment fee that we're charging. Okay, and so we have the total cost of $366 per month, and then the one-time payment is $396 because that includes the enrollment fee. Well, maybe $366 is more than they really want to pay, but you do want them to get this dental. So I go back up here to plan selection. Remember I said this is active. I click on that and say, you know what, instead of going with this personal choice PPO, let's maybe look at a slightly less expensive plan. Let's go for this silver plan. All right. Now I can see that my total monthly fee is only $264. It's below that 300 mark that they were trying to hit, but I still have a little room. So maybe I say, you know what, let's go here. Sorry. And let's add on, $36 Triomed package that does AME, critical illness, and accident. That's a great package to go in. Now I'm right at $300. That was the target they were trying to hit. I've given them a number of additional benefits to help cover their dental, critical illness, accident, etc. It's a great package, good commissions. Click here to continue. Takes me to a basic applicant information page. I'm just going to put in my information. Okay, I'll put in my email address. All right. Now, because I chose a supplemental plan, if there are any questions required for these plans, we automatically put them in here. The TrueMed plan has a beneficiary. So we'll put in the name of my spouse here. Spouse, and then I have to sign. National General plans are e-signed by us, so you don't have to send them any plans. All right, so the next step in an ACA application is you go to the FFM. So I'm going to do that here. 1 second here. See if I got the password right. Log into the FFM. Now, healthcare.gov, the FFM was a pain in the beginning, but at this point, it's not too bad because most people have applications already in the system. So I'm just going to go in. You almost never have to actually complete an application anymore. I'm going to go in and search for my application and see if I've done one. And lo and behold, I have. So I'm going to select an application. Normally there wouldn't be this many, there'd be one, but I've done a lot of different testing. So I have a number of plans. If you need to make any changes to that application from the past year, maybe update their income, you can do that. But this one looks good to go. They really haven't had any changes. I can see the eligibility. I am eligible for this plan. I'm going to view the eligibility results and save this file. And then I'm going to return to RabbittApp. So it really can be, if they're brand new, you'll have to enter in their information the first time, but their new apps are pretty straightforward. But if they're a returning CMS customer, then they've already got an app in the system and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here's one feature of RabbittApp. We put in that I made $35,000. I had this $250 subsidy, and that was usually won't be this extreme, and that was fine. But when we really went in and got their app and computed their subsidy on healthcare.gov, it turns out I wasn't eligible for a subsidy at all. Maybe I'd conveniently forgotten a set of income from somebody else. And so RabbittApp uses, because it's the only way to get enrolled, the actual subsidy from healthcare.gov. And so when it comes back, it alerts you, hey, we've determined your actual subsidy is 0. We've updated the system, but be aware. We don't want you to be surprised. So we're going to say OK. You can see that we've now updated the system with the subsidy. And we can see Andrew Rieger, I'm a male, I am eligible. I can upload the eligibility letter to RabbittApp. So we have that stored in the system. I'll show you where you can see that. Everything looks good. I've got Keystone. I've got these different supplemental plans. It'll automatically set the best eligibility date for whatever supplemental plans because they don't always have the same eligibility date rules as ACA. I click next. Here's where I take payment. I'm taking payment just for the supplemental plans. Healthcare.gov does not allow us to send payment directly for these plans, so you will have to log back in to take payment. So I'll put this information. Okay, I'm going to say, oops, put in Okay, I agree to the National General Terms of Service. I agree to these other services. And then this is where they're agreeing to, and it's pre-checked off, to pay for the enrollment fees and to charge this fee. But you have the option at this point to say, you know what, I normally charge an enrollment fee, but they purchased 2 National General plans. I'm getting good commissions on those. I'm not trying to, double dip on this. So I'm actually going to turn off the enrollment fees for this particular application because they agreed to purchase other supplemental plans. So you have that flexibility if you want to do this. I click continue. I see a nice summary of coverage that shows all the different plans I'm purchasing, who's covered, what the effective dates are, what the payments are, my ACA monthly payment, how much today's payment will be, which is just the payment for the supplemental plans, and then I click submit. I'm not going to click submit here for 2 reasons. One, this is actually live on the ACA, and so I don't really want to send a dummy plan to the ACA. They don't appreciate it. So I'm not going to do that. But if I click that button, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to automatically enroll me in the ACA plan on the FFM, and it's going to also automatically enroll me in the National General plans, and it sends that data real time to National General. Okay, and that is the process for an enrollment. So before I go and show you how we can see that within the system, there are 2 questions. Is ACA dental plan available? Currently, we don't have ACA dental plans. For 2018, I think we will have those on the site. We're just finishing up some development there. We decided not to last year. Most of our agents did not sell ACA dental plans. They preferred to sell supplemental dental plans. But we're looking at that for 2018 for this next open enrollment. The next question is, how do you upload documents to the client's applications? And I'll show you how to do both that in a minute here. So we're going to go see those applications we just enrolled. I'm going to click on my Applications tab. And this shows the applications most recent first. So I can see Andrew Rieger purchases dental PPO. It says in progress. If I'd actually clicked submit in a real live state, this would say completed. It also shows that I purchased this variety of National General products here, and I purchased ACA Medical here. So all the purchases are shown here. If I click on the medical one, the ACA, it gives me some high-level information. There's this connect to FFM button. And so if I click on that, it's going to pop up a screen and let me go to the FFM. That's where I can upload any documents that I need to. That's also whether I can take payment. So the typical flow for an agent in making an ACA sale is you make the sale, you immediately go back to your applications tab, you click connect to FFM, you bring up their app, and then if they need documentation, you load it in. Typically, they probably won't, but you never know. And then you also can take payment right there on healthcare.gov. You can see there's a link here to the eligibility letter. If I click on that, it's going to pop up the eligibility letter that we loaded in, so you can see who's eligible if you need that information. We have a lightweight, very agent-focused CRM within RabbittApp. So if I click on detailed applicant information, it's going to take me to a complete record of this applicant. So first of all of their demographic information, date of birth, social security, home, all that information's at my fingertips in case I need it later. I can also see the plans they purchased. So the Keystone HMO Silver, who's enrolled, what documents were associated with that, what's the effective date, the termination date, what's the status. Again, if we'd enrolled them, this would be completed. I have easy access to the summary benefits. So if I come back and they have some questions about what plans they purchased in 2 months, I can go right in here and see all that, including the benefits. I can also see the supplemental plans they purchased. You can see who the enrollee is. Maybe you enrolled a family in the ACA plan, but only the primary in a critical illness plan or a life insurance plan. So that would show up there. So this is a complete capture of the plans they purchased. There's also this add plan button. So again, cross-selling is very important. Maybe you start selling a life plan on RabbittApp, and in April you go back and you want to sell them, you can click add plan, choose which of the people on this plan you want to enroll, choose the product, and you can go in and it'll automatically pre-fill with all their information. You won't have to add and kind of retype everything. Excuse me, a little bit of allergies today. Okay, so that is the question there. Um, so in the applications, I can see all of that detail. Go back here. I can also export all of my applications if I want to, if I need to take it to Excel. Um, when an application is entered, I know a lot of you came to this demo from an announcement about our partnership with Agency Block. These applications are automatically sent over to Agency Block if you have that enabled, if you're an Agency Block customer. And so all of these sales show up in your Agency Block account. So you can do additional marketing with an Agency Block, track commissions, etc. All right, and I can view these. If I only want to view the medical plans, I can filter there and just see medical. If I just want to see completed medical plans, I can go do that. You have the ability to kind of filter these off and see what I want to see. I can also sort. We do this last first, but if I want to sort by applicant name, I can do that. We have a lot of capabilities here. I have a lot of applicants, a lot of capabilities to do that. All right, so let's look at the next piece here. Um, There's a question about agency block. I don't have this. This version is not tied into the test version of agency block that I have access to, so I can't do that in real time. However, we are going to do an agency block demo on September 6th. I'm sure all of you will get invites to that if you want to join. And in that demo, we'll show the entire process that goes from beginning to end with an agency block enrollment. Okay. Um, we also let you manage your leads within RabbittApp. It's a very powerful part of what we do. So you can bring in leads in a couple different ways. You can add a lead. So I can add here, I can say Jane Doe, her date of birth is 1/1/1980. Her zip code is 33455, which is Florida, Martin County. And her email is andyrieger@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm going to save this lead. So maybe someone called you on the phone and you just want to pop that lead into RabbittApp so that you can do that. Once you can also add leads, maybe you have a book of business, you have your leads in an Excel spreadsheet or another system. You can, if you have your leads in Excel, you can import them into RabbittApp. Again, our customer service is very high touch, so not everyone is real comfortable with formatting Excel spreadsheets. If you email us your spreadsheet, we'll actually get it formatted properly and load your leads in for you, so you don't have to mess with that. It's not showing here, but we're actually in the process of adding a lead vendor, Nexus Solutions, which is a major national lead vendor. And so we're going to have the ability for you to purchase leads, real-time leads from the lead vendor. The button here will pop you out to their very user-friendly interface. Completely optional, but it is a good source of quality leads. If you purchase a lead through Nexus, the lead will automatically be entered into RabbittApp, and you'll get an email when that lead comes. So if you say, you know what, I want to buy 3 under 64 leads in the state of Florida with these income characteristics per day, and I'm willing to bid, however much dollars per lead. When a lead comes in, it gets automatically entered into RabbittApp, and you get an email saying, hey, you've got a new lead, this person, go sell them. So there's a number of different ways you can get your leads into the system. But one of the valuable things you can do, if you look at this gray button, I can send custom quotes to these customers. So let me send them a quote here, and I'm going to send them an ACA quote. And it's going to bring up the plan selection page, but it's going to be very much clear that this is quote mode here. I'm going to make this a gender. I'm going to quote them a couple of different bronze plans here. Why not? Click continue. I also, so you can see here on the left, these are the plans I chose. I'm also going to add a supplemental. Let's add a dental plan to this. Why not? Let them offer a dental plan. And you can see here that I add this dental plan on the left. I'm going to click continue. This is what the quote looks like. these three options, all the plan information. If I want more details, I can see the summary benefits and all that information. Here's the dental plan I chose. Here's the total monthly payment. So I'm going to click the send quote button. It's going to bring up a pre-formatted email. I can change this. So the information you requested on our call today. And I'm going to click send. Now, if you're doing a lot of business during open enrollment, there can be a lot of volume. Maybe you send this quote off to them. You can see again, it's last touched. So now this is green, so I know I sent them a quote. I can compare up to, I think it's 4 plans per quote. Maybe they call you back in a week and say, hey, I'd like to talk about my quote. And you're like, who are you? You can just search for them right here, click on the send quote button, and I can create a new quote, but I can also view the existing quote that I already sent them. So I click view quote, click submit, and it'll bring that quote right up if my internet was faster, and I can see exactly what I quoted them. And so we can discuss it and decide which plan we're going to go forward with. Okay, so that's very handy. I'm going to log out for a second here so you can see what this looks like from the consumer side of things. So this is me, the consumer, and I just got in this health insurance quote in my email. I'm going to click on it. You can see it has the customized subject line that I had put in. I'm going to click on the quote as a consumer now, not as the agent. You can see I have all the agent information at the top. For ACA, this is actually legally required, but it does give them the information if they need to contact you or get back to you. I can see which plans. I can see, oh wait, my agent added a dental plan. I wasn't really asking for that. I'm not interested. I can remove it right there and get the premium, or I can keep it, either way. And when I'm ready, I can select a plan, and it will let me begin the enrollment. So if I have a supplemental plan on this, I can actually complete the supplemental plan enrollment all the way through. If it's just ACA, I can get to a certain point and then I have to stop. You'll get a notification about the ACA plan, and then you can go forward. So let me just go through here real quick so you can see what this looks like. Here, continue. So I'm now enrolling in the dental plan that I purchased, that I chose. My internet's a little slow. It's going to take payment. Agree, continue. It's going to tell me this is the plan I'm choosing. These are the payments. Notice there's a box here highlighted in red that says you're purchasing your supplemental. We know you want an ACA plan as well. We will alert your agent to complete the ACA plan. I click submit. This takes a second because it's actually enrolling them live in the plan with National General, and National General's enrollment platform is not always the fastest. So for demos, I'm always a little impatient. But this is going to enroll them in the National General plan, and it's going to show up in your system under the Applications tab. It's going to send you a notice to finish the ACA plan, and everything's good. So you can see the thank you. Your agent will be in touch with you soon regarding the ACA application. I want to choose the Blue Care Bronze. It's in progress. I want to choose the Dental PPO. It's completed. So very clear information. If I go back to my email, now this email's, I'm 2 people now. So Andy, the agent, is going to get this top email, addition of new application, and it says, hey, you have a new application from Jane Doe. Here's a plan name. Contact them to complete this application. So I get alerted. I don't have to go looking through my my RabbittApp. And then as a customer, because I just purchased National General, I get an email like telling me all the information about what I just purchased. So it's a welcome email. So you purchased this National General PPO plan. Here's the effective date. Here's who's enrolled. Here's the cost. We're all about retention, so we're being very clear. Here is how the charge will appear on your credit card. right? One of the big issues with retention is they see a charge on the credit card, they don't know what it is. A lot of times people, especially if they're in a lower income bracket, they'll just dispute it right away. They won't even call and ask. And so we don't want that to happen. That's bad for retention. So we tell them, hey, this is what's going to look like. Don't be surprised. Here's all the agent information if you have any questions. And oh, by the way, here's a link to the brochure for the product you just purchased. So very clear communication. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything that happens. So let's go back and log in as RabbittApp so you can see what this looks like, or log in as an agent rather. On the agent side, on the applications, I'm going to see Jane Doe. Again, it's the last thing I did, so it's at the top. I can see this dental PPO is completed, and this ACA medical is in progress. If I click on the ACA medical plan, there's a continue enrollment button. I can just click continue enrollment, and it's going to take me right to where they left off on the ACA plan with all of their information pre-populated, because we grabbed it all for the National General form, so we don't want you to have to redo anything. The plan's already been selected, everything's good. I can just click Connect FFM and I'm on my way. So it really is a very efficient process for quoting ACA and supplemental plans. You don't have to quote ACA, you can quote supplemental by itself. You can quote multiple supplementals. So if you're selling the National General Foundation's limited medical plan, you can quote 3 limited medical options with a dental and a critical illness, however you want to do it. All right, I think that pretty much covers anything. Any other questions at this time? I'll give you a second here. Okay. At the end of the demo, at some point later today, or worst case Monday, we'll send you an email. If you're interested, we will give you we'll give you an enrollment. It's not even a login to the RabbittApp system. It's a live, live real enrollment. You can actually, sell if you want to. There's no charge for the first 30 days, so do whatever you want. Try it out. If you want to do that, we'll probably have to ask a couple other questions to get you enrolled, but we'll get you set up and you can test drive it out. As I said, you'll be getting an email about an additional demo on September 6th, which I think is a week from Wednesday, which will kind of go through the whole integration of RabbittApp with Agency Block, if that's of interest to you. Otherwise, thank you much for your time this morning and have a great weekend. There's a real quick question. Can the client, there we go, questions. Can the client use a cell phone to complete an application? Sure, you can, this all works. It's very mobile friendly. A cell phone is a really small screen, although they're getting bigger. It is doable, but it is a little painful on a cell phone. It is very doable on a tablet. So we have lots of agents who take RabbittApp on a tablet and go to a grocery store and sign people up, or go to a mall and sign people up. Tablet interface is completely doable. Phone is doable, but tiny. What is the cost of RabbittApp? We're finalizing pricing right now, but I think the final pricing will end up being there's a per month fee of between $10 and $15, depending on whether you purchase an annual subscription or a monthly subscription, and then it'll be $4 per app. So it's kind of a combination of a very low monthly subscription cost, and then a lower than the market industry per app cost as well. And it's kind of a mix. We want you to use this year round. We want you to have access to all your data year round. So there's a small monthly fee. You can pay it annually. We'll give you a significant discount if you do, but it's a small monthly fee. Just the CRM capabilities alone to be able to track all of your applications and sales as you work with carriers to get your commissions is worth the $10 a month and $15 a month. And then the per app fees are below the whole market. It's going to be $4 a month $4 per app rather. If you do work with a general agency, there are some general agencies we work with. I don't think any of you are in that space, but certainly in Florida and Louisiana, in Michigan, actually, we have general agency relationships. If once I see where you're from, if you decide to follow through with an application, if you're in the right markets, I'll at least let you know because they offer RabbittApp free if you appoint through them. So I want to at least give you that option. But otherwise, we have, I think, very a very smooth platform for enrollment, and our costs are extremely competitive in the market. Okay. Any other questions? I'll give you a second, but everyone else is welcome to jump off if you want. I really appreciate your time. So I'll hang around here, but you feel free to take off if you're done.